Tonight's aerial coverage by Goodyear. Everything we've learned making tires for the proving grounds of NASCAR inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Under caution at Daytona. Paul Menard heads for pit road. Terry Labonte stays out. He is the leader of the race from Greg Biffle and Marcus Ambrose. We'll go back to green in a lap or so. March 9th, the Ultimate Fighter premieres live only on FX as it makes its debut on its new home. 32 contenders face off in a special 2-hour premiere event. The Ultimate Fighter now live beginning March 9th at 9 p.m. only on FX. Menard and Kevin Harvick, Richard Childress Racing teammates, pitted here along with David Gilliland's Ford. Light is out atop the safety car. We're ready to go back to green. Now you can join the Dew Crew on Facebook. Join by March 30th and enter for the chance to win Dale's fire suit that he's wearing right there in that shot in the Daytona 500. Get the Dew Crew app now only on Facebook.
Man, look at those gloves. Those things are frightening looking. You know why they're that way? So when he gets that hand up, buddy, somebody, you're going to see that. You're going to notice that.
"15 laps to halfway. Jeff Gordon, three-time champion of the 500, in the garage, out of the race, engine trouble.
I just feel like that Jeff thinks it's something in the gauge package. His water pressure or his water temperature didn't give him the indication he needed to save that engine.
Hendrick Motorsports has about 8 engines in this Daytona 500.
For only the second time in 54 years, an import nameplate paces the field. Porsche 1971, Toyota in 2012, and that Camry is about to make the sharp left turn. The silver car of Terry Labonte, the white and red machine of Greg Biffle are going to lead them down to the green flag. Get your hand on the volume knob because we're going to crank it up for you. Laps to halfway. Greg Biffle, the leader. Right behind him, Terry Labonte from Corpus Christi, Texas, two-time Sprint Cup champion in that silver car. 30 Daytona 500 starts behind only Dave Marcus and Richard Petty, trying to win it for the first time.
And Mike, you know, a lot of guys downplayed that halfway money. I'm not really worried about that. I'm thinking about the big prize. We're going to find out how much truth there was in those statements because these guys are getting ready to turn the wick up with 10 laps to go to get the money.
On the outside, that drafting tandem that worked so well before. Truex and around goes Labonte off the bumper of Marcus Ambrose, and caution is out.
He's going to save it.
Narrowly got him right in that left rear corner that we've been talking about.
And the rains that have plagued Daytona Beach for the last few days have captured the Frank Stoddard car driven by Terry Labonte. His Ford can't get out of the mud.
You can see Marcus Ambrose right down there on the bumper of Terry Labonte, number 32, gets down on that left side. And
fortunately, that runoff area is paved, and Labonte, look at the car control as he tries to keep that thing away from the wall and ends up in the grass.
There's a number of things that have been done to these cars that have really helped them. That big fin on the across the deck lid, that really helps. Certainly this paved, all this area being paved now, that's very helpful, saves a car and a driver.
Now, before this happened, wondering if Frank Stoddard had positioned Labonte at the front after pit stops to go for that halfway cash.
Terry, we're going to have about 15 to go to the halfway. What's your thoughts about staying?
Oh boy, that's a good way to get wrecked, probably.
That was pretty smart. He called that one.
Yeah, Darrell, he had been out there about 20 laps on his tires. He did not even pit that last time.
Cars stay out and do not pit, even though pit road is open. Steve Burns.
Jeff Gordon down in the garage, Mike. And Jeff, I saw you debriefing with some of the key engine personnel at Hendrick Motorsports. Have you diagnosed the issue?
Well, ultimately it broke a crank, but we're trying to figure out what caused that. It's pretty strange. We've gone through so much reliability testing that if we had seen some high temps or some high water pressure, then I would have kind of expected some of this to happen. But I was actually seeing surprisingly low temps and low pressure, so I don't know, maybe something was off there. But boy, it's a shame. Our Drive to End Hunger Chevrolet was really strong. We were just biding our time and being patient and working with guys. Every once in a while we could get up there to the front, but we weren't really even trying at that time. You're racing out there, but in order to actually make a big move to get to the lead, you have to push, and then you do take a risk at getting the temps up. So it just wasn't time to do that, but we were in a great position, great pit stop there, and just got to thank Drive to End Hunger for everything that they do for all the older Americans that are dealing with hunger issues. Thank DuPont, thank Pepsi Max, and Chevrolet, all of our sponsors. This is not the way we wanted to start the season or the Daytona 500. So we'll go on to Phoenix.
We'll see you there. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Elliott Sadler having a long stay on pit road. And there is the front of Marcus Ambrose's car, and you see a little smush from some contact. Perhaps that's the contact with Terry Labonte.
Well, and Labonte stayed out. He was on older tires, and if you're coming up off that corner and you happen to have to squeeze up out of the throttle a little bit, the guy behind you can easily make contact with you. That may have been what happened.
Yeah, during our last commercial break, Dick Bergman was telling me that Elliott Sadler in the 33 was fighting some fuel pressure issues.
He is back on the racetrack. Look at the bottom of your screen, the 9 of Ambrose.
I know that the 9 has made contact with the 32, but I'm not sure that's what started the 32 around.
All right, we'll see what else we can find. Labonte is back on right there. That is not damaged. I mean, that looks like a bit of tire rub or something on Ambrose's car, but that's not from the silver car of Labonte.
No, I think that happened when he was going by Labonte, possibly. I don't know, okay. But just from that shot we saw there seemed to be a gap between he and Terry Labonte.
10 laps to halfway, and we'll get the restart green next time by. If the halfway lap is run under green, $200,000. If we happen to be under caution, then the 5th consecutive green flag lap after halfway will determine the winner of that $200,000 bonus. Octane Academy is on Fuel TV. Check your local listings for the time in your area.
This is going to turn into a little 10-lap heat race with the $200,000 prize at the end of the race.
Yeah, not many heat races pay that kind of money, does it?
No.
Well, in 1990, when Derek Cope won the Daytona 500, he and his Bob Whitcomb team didn't bank $200,000 for winning the race.
Oh, in 1989, I won $175,000, and I had to run 200 laps. So this is a big, big bonus.
Getting set for the restart, Biffle and Ambrose. All NASCAR restarts in their top 3 National Series are double file. The leader gets his choice of inside or outside lane, and then everyone else lines up in fashion. Second place car on the front row, and then everyone else inside, outside in order.
Is it just a coincidence, or $200,000 at stake here in a lap or 2, 5, 10, whatever it is? The 18 car all of a sudden is in the picture.
I was just going to say, that's the driver I want to watch, Kyle Busch in that 18.
When they take the green, it'll be 9 laps to the $200,000 midway payday in the Daytona 500. 32 cars on the lead lap for this restart. Here we go. Trying to come up the middle, Casey Kane in that number 5, trying to force the issue right down the center.
He's getting help from his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 88 car.
And Junior leaves Kane. He's still coming. He's got Matt Kenseth right there on his spoiler and pulls up to Marcus Ambrose.
But how about Matt Kenseth in that 17? It wasn't that long ago that he was on pit road with them putting water in his race car.
But how about Dale Jr.? He's just like his daddy. When it comes down to these little sprint things here for a lot of money, he gets in the hunt.
Kenseth now, his 17, the man in the middle, Junior on the outside. You're riding with Dale Jr. There goes Keselowski in the deuce. And Almirola. And it's like Dale Jr. threw the anchor out.
Well, Kyle Busch did that. If you just make the wrong move, somebody's there to close that hole up and leave you hanging.
Jeff Burton on the bottom with Mark Martin in the 55. Stewart 14 in the middle with Boyer the 15. Here they come, 7 laps to halfway. 200 miles an hour, $200,000, 7 laps from now.